Hey guys, and welcome back to Fringe Friday. As always, I am Carmen, and today we are watching season 3, episode 12 of Fringe. I know that you can see that by the title, and I always tell you anyway, but just in case you accidentally clicked this episode and you meant to click a previous episode, like maybe you're watching a playlist, I just don't want anybody to get spoiled if they have not reached this point, or you accidentally clicked this episode and you're in like season 1. Click away now. Don't get spoiled. The show is too good to get spoiled on. Anyway, but please don't click away if you're actually trying to watch this, because please watch it. Anyway, last week on Fringe, we had a really fun episode that I think was had actually a lot of interesting moral and philosophical questions in it, but mostly it was about Peter and Walter's idea of reciprocal relationships, right? Like Peter activated the machine, right, when he walked in, the device, and in turn was sort of activated by the device because of the inherent reciprocity in all relationships, according to Walter, right? Which honestly makes sense. Like, the only thing that we're sort of left to question is in what ways, besides the obvious that we saw last week, is this reciprocity going to affect Peter? Like, what extent will it reach in the effects, right? Is he becoming part machine? And obviously not like physically, literally part machine, but like emotionally, is he becoming part machine? You know, and then there was also the interesting sort of moral questions regarding shapeshifters, and is Peter doing anything wrong because are they machines? You know, they are kind of a life form, but you know, I'm not going to get into all of the questionable moral dilemmas involved in that, because an intro is not the place for that. But we had that, and what else? Yeah, I think mostly it was just about Peter and how this is going to affect him going forward, and how it's going to then in turn affect all of the people around him, and by extension the entire worlds, because there's, you know, more than one. Anyway, that is plenty of rambling for an intro. I'm sorry if you actually watched all of this. What shall we say today? Because sometimes you guys actually do watch this, and it's fascinating to me, because I feel like I'm just rambling. Anyway, Cloak. Say Cloak if you actually watched this. Also, a good brand by Jacksepticeye, and I think Markiplier. Anyway, let's watch this episode. I need to stop talking. Oh, she's just looking at William's stuff. Dr. Spock. You know I love it. Okay. That's amazing. Stay out. This means you. Does that mean you, Nina? Or does that mean me? Sketch for the design of Massive Dynamic. I'm not even gonna, okay, I'm gonna little mention the Photoshop, but pictures are always bad in TV shows.
The first people.
Ah.
You and your secrets.
He had a lot of them, huh? Do you ever think that maybe if people were better at communication in these shows, then like half of this stuff wouldn't happen?
I imagine that must have been awkward, reading her account of her time at Peter.
Yep. I don't know why you gotta bring it up.
She did start to develop genuine feelings for him.
What?
This makes me wonder if maybe he feels the same way.
Aww.
And I would understand if he did. I was hurt for a while, and she's like me, but better.
No, that is far from the truth.
No, I mean, she still has her mother, and she wasn't experimented on as a child.
You are a million times better. You're so much better. You're so much better.
You don't know what Peter's thinking. William and I, we also had a complicated relationship.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
If there's one thing I regret, it's that we never honestly acknowledged how we felt about each other.
Makes me sad for her.
If you want to know how Peter feels,
Ask him.
ask him.
It's such a simple thing. So hard for people to do. I understand completely, but...
Now you can finally get the real answers to the mysteries of the universe, Warren.
42. Oh no, don't pull it, don't pull it, don't do it. Okay, I didn't think that was gonna happen, but... It was creepy as hell anyway. Go in his office, but don't breathe. Are his bones disappearing? Or breaking? What the hell? I think all his bones are gone. That would be horrifying. Talk about a no bones day.
Why would anyone kill a scientist? What did we ever do?
A lot. No offense, Walter, but...
Here, there isn't a single bone left in this man's body.
Mm-hmm.
The work of a highly proficient chemist, no doubt.
But to what purpose? Yeah, it's that thing.
I found the source.
Mm-hmm.
That's an odd delivery system. Bonus points for the creepy factor, though.
The card says from Madison.
Who's Madison?
Thank you. Broyles tracked the postal code. The package was sent from Chelsea 2 days ago, so I'm just downloading the post office security footage.
Is that not how she takes her coffee?
You found the suspect.
Good thing lunatics still use the postal service.
That makes 2 breakthroughs. I believe this is military. Ours, to be precise.
U.S. military? How would our suspect get his hands on something like that?
If he was military?
His name is Aaron Downing. He doesn't have a criminal record, he has a military one.
So how does a Marine end up a terrorist?
It says here that Downey's service record was impeccable. And then 4 years ago, he just abruptly resigned his commission.
Something must have happened.
He was off the grid for a couple years. But when he did resurface, he bought this
Something must
house.
have happened.
All cash.
So who is she?
She was obviously important to him. Maybe she knows where he is.
You okay?
Do you still think about her?
Excuse me?
Well, you've bought me 100 cups of coffee, and you know that I take a black with 1 sugar, but this morning you brought me one with milk, and I'm assuming that that's the way the other Olivia likes hers.
Yep.
Yes, I think about her all the time. I think about how she used my feelings for you to manipulate me. How she lied to me and everybody else.
Before you knew she wasn't me. She was fun, right? She had an easier smile. I mean, that's what you said.
Olivia, I said that because I wanted you to know that I noticed the differences.
Yeah.
But I thought it was because of me. Because of us. I thought that I was bringing out a different side in you.
Oh, this breaks my
But it was
heart.
never because I wanted to be with her more.
Yes. Yes, please.
Because I don't.
Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm sorry about the coffee.
The coffee is just a symptom, though. It's not what's wrong. She was worried that you liked her more.
He's here!
Oh, shit.
Freeze! Freeze, FBI!
Peter really just be throwing himself out windows and shit now. I mean, he always did, I guess, but... That car was very convenient. Thank you. I guess.
So, what are the chances that he will gain consciousness?
Oh, never mind.
So much for interrogating him.
Unless
What is it,
Walter
Walter?
has a way.
I may know a way to question the suspect,
Uh-huh, how? Is it the...
but I'll need to go back to the lab first to think about it.
a way?
Finally. She finally did it.
Did what?
He said he was going to kill him.
Okay.
I just never took him seriously.
Bit weird.
Aaron left the Marines to do some private contractor work. The
Okay.
money was really good, but he had to be overseas for a couple of years.
Doing what?
When he got home, we wanted to start a family. It was great at first. I mean, I got pregnant and we bought a house.
The baby. Something was wrong
And
with him.
then, 7 months into the pregnancy,
Lost the baby.
our baby died. The doctor said that there was something wrong with Aaron. Some DNA pathogen that he passed on to our child.
Okay.
Aaron was convinced that it had something to do with his time overseas. Dr. Blake was the scientist who oversaw it.
Did he happen to tell you the name of that project?
All he talked about was Dr. Blake.
Oh, okay.
He blamed him for Maddie's death.
Madison. That was the name
That
on
was going
the
to be our daughter's name.
card.
She died like all the others
The other people in his unit.
in Aaron's unit. He never told me their names, but their babies died the same way.
Hmm.
How did your daughter die?
They said it was some kind of bone disease. It left her without a skeleton.
Of course. That makes total sense.
I need to be picked up.
Where are you calling me from, Walter?
New Hampshire, I believe. Mile marker 259.
Where were you going?
Where exactly were you driving to?
I didn't see the gas light come on.
That wasn't my question.
Yeah.
In the Worcester Cortexiphen trials, there was a boy, Simon Phillips. He lives just up the road here. I believe he may be able to help us.
How?
I don't remember Simon Phillips.
And she would.
Because he wasn't in the records. He didn't complete the program. Simon was beginning to develop the ability to read minds.
You threw him out of the trial, didn't you, Walter? Because you knew if you read your mind, he'd know your secret. That you'd taken me from the other side.
If I can somehow reactivate Simon's ability, then we could use him to read Downey's mind. Find out where the next attack's coming from. Oh, look! Punch buggy!
Yeah, I love Walter so much. Also, just, it would be horrible to read people's minds. Would not want. Because people think things all the time that they don't like. Intrusive thoughts and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Would not want.
Hello?
Oh, this could be really bad for Peter and Olivia too. Just like...
Yes, I know who you are. No, I wouldn't call it wonderful at all. Bacon, unicorns, Peter's birthday. What does that mean? Huh? What are you trying to do to me?
My mind does that sometimes.
You need to leave.
Put your gun down.
How come I can't hear you?
Because she was a Cortex fan kid.
She's another Cortexiphen subject.
Yeah.
Sometimes you children are immune to each other's abilities.
What's wrong with you?
He can't block it out.
How many more, Walter?
Kids,
How many more are going to come crawling out of the woodwork?
how many more lives irrevocably affected? But it's nice to be with her. Somebody whose thoughts you can't hear. Just get to talk to somebody without knowing what they're thinking.
It's refreshing, you know, not being able to read your mind.
I bet.
It's the first real conversation I've had in 20 years.
That's sad. He can't control it either.
I know I can't control it, I can't turn it off. Whenever I get within 50 feet of another person, it's like...
Is that why you live here?
I mean, yeah, of course.
Do you know how it feels to be burdened with something that makes it impossible for you to relate to another person? It makes you feel completely alone in the world.
Kinda.
We need you to help with an investigation. We need you to read a suspect's mind.
No, I don't think so.
Please, Simon, come back to Boston with me.
A city the size of Boston? You gotta be joking.
Maybe it would be like white noise.
I'm sorry, there's gotta be another way.
Look, I know what I'm asking of you, but...
Maybe y'all could bring him here.
Is this a joke? Happy birthday from Carla.
Oh, I guess they all died. That's gonna be very unpleasant for whoever's waiting on that elevator.
We are moving them as quickly as we can.
Thank you.
Can I ask what this is for?
We need a mind reader to help us find a bomb.
I mean, you asked.
It's not working, is it?
Maybe if you ask him a question.
It's probably his thoughts are too jumbled. They're not like a coherent stream of thoughts.
Who else was a part of the project?
I hope that guy doesn't end up hurt.
Get me a pen.
Well, what about the plate of vegetables?
Project Jellyfish.
Was there any reference in Downey's file to Mary Ann?
Project Jellyfish.
What about Project Jellyfish?
Yeah.
Jellyfish are one of the few creatures without any bones.
The weapons program Blake and Downey will.
So it makes sense.
Look, he can barely function around people. The Cortex fan trials ruined his life. I mean, he's broken.
Olivia, I know what you're thinking.
Do you?
You and he are nothing alike.
Was she? You had drawings of her in your cabin.
She works at a coffee shop by my house.
Well, he likes her.
What's she like?
She's perfect.
Perfect. No one's perfect.
I see her sometimes when I drive by. Like, even if she pretended to be nice or to be my friend or even flirted with me out of some kind of pity, I would know how she really feels.
Don't say that. You don't know.
But you don't know that.
Yeah.
That's what you're afraid is gonna happen. And so what if you find out that she's not interested or that there's somebody else? Isn't it better to know?
No one should know exactly what someone else is thinking.
Probably not, but I wouldn't mind having that ability right now.
You might. Oh, no. The thing is, he's right. You would never want to know what somebody's thinking the entire time. Like, you just wouldn't.
Nina asked me to do some digging, and we both know that what Nina Sharp wants,
Nina Sharp
she gets.
I love how powerful she is.
So, Jellyfish was a weapons project.
Redacted a
3
lot.
men carried out the live field tests.
How did they survive?
Apparently they were inoculated.
So it doesn't affect them because they were inoculated.
Yeah. We're good.
But who all are they gonna kill? That's a big ass blast. Are they going for like a bunch of people? Like the government, the army, the military, the
Vest would allow them to spread the powder themselves.
Yeah, in large quantities.
yeah,
Looks like they got bigger plans than just 3 guys in an elevator.
exactly.
Congressman Jim Thorne. Isn't he a former Army general?
He was senior military advisor to the Joint Chiefs at the time of Project Jellyfish.
So you think he approved the project?
Probably. But where's he gonna be today? That's probably important. A rally, something.
When Simon was reading Downey's mind, didn't he say he saw the image of the name Mary Ann?
Yeah, why?
Because I think I just found her.
That's the Fine Arts Museum.
Maybe he's having a rally.
He's holding a fundraiser. It's an event for 300 of his top donors and started half an hour ago.
He's gonna kill all of them. Or they're gonna kill all of them. But the donors don't necessarily know. I mean, it's a top secret government project. They would have no idea.
How good a shot are you?
I'm okay. Why?
She looks gorgeous, just saying. Red lipstick looks amazing on her. I mean, everything looks amazing on her. I'm just saying. Oh. She's so pretty. Sorry.
Hey, you're not supposed to hear. This area is for staff only.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're just looking for the restroom. He's had a little bit too much to drink.
That's it.
Oh, yeah. I was gonna say.
Okay, you wait here.
That's one of them, though. There's two. Olivia, be safe.
Damn it.
He's not the one with the bomb.
First one.
Something's not right. I know. This is not how it's supposed to go. Where's Dylan?
He's here. There. Blue tie.
I'm sure he's here by now.
Don't leave him. Take him someplace with slightly less people, maybe? Because, like, poor guy's he's not doing well. In fact, he's doing real bad.
I'm looking for my wife. I think she went out onto the balcony.
Yeah, you need to use a different exit.
She's amazing. You did good.
Coffee. Black one sugar.
Thank you.
I've been meaning to tell you. You look great in the dress.
It doesn't have to be like this, you know, living out here the way that you do.
I can understand why he would, to be honest.
I guess what I'm trying to say is that you should go and talk to that girl.
You still don't understand, Olivia. We're not supposed to know what people think.
I agree with him.
Simon, don't let your ability stop you from living your life.
I may not be able to read your mind,
No.
but I read his.
No, I don't think this is good.
This is what it's like to be me.
No, don't read it. Olivia, don't read it. He's right. You shouldn't know what people think. Just because somebody thinks something doesn't mean that it's true. Like, no. Don't do it. Burn it, and do not read it. What? She's realizing something. Nina, what you realizing? Isn't it an anagram? Is that that's what it's called, right? Sam. Olivia's Sam?
Tell me about the first people. Start with why those books seem to indicate that you wrote them. Then move on to what the device is intended for.
So you found it?
You never told me about this.
I'm not your problem, Peter Bishop is. What I can tell you is this. That device can either be used as a tool of creation or as a weapon of destruction. Depends on your point of view. And Peter Bishop is uniquely tuned to operate it.
Okay. Why is that bad?
Frequency Peter's vibrating at will determine how the machine reacts.
What determines Peter's frequency?
Yeah.
Depends on his state of mind, which in turn will depend on who he ends up with. Olivia from here or Olivia from over there. Whichever one he chooses, it'll be her universe that survives.
So in that case, there's no cause for concern. He'll choose our Olivia.
I wouldn't be so sure of that.
Why? No, you're not reading it, are you? This is not. But the thing is, you can't use people's thoughts against them. I mean, that's only... He's a human, like, he's a person, like... Okay, you guys, sorry, I'm trying to form coherence in my thoughts. I don't think coherence is a word. Maybe it is. I don't know. Trying to, like, piece together all of my thoughts so that I can say them in a concise way. First off, I agree with the Cortexiphan kid, whose name I forget, in this episode, that hearing people's thoughts would be a total burden. But I think putting that aside, like, one, I totally understand and agree with his stance of, like, living far the hell away from people and not having to hear what they're thinking all the time, because that would be horrible. Two, the thing is, people are not their thoughts, right? They're their actions, their feelings. Our thoughts are a jumbled mess of insecurity and fear and just, depending on who you are, like, worst case scenarios, right? Like, my thoughts are, I have anxiety, okay? So my thoughts are constantly the worst case scenario, right? I am insecure about a lot of things, right? So my thoughts are a lot of times me fighting away from the anxiety, fighting away from the insecurity to get to a place where like I understand that the truth of what's going on, right? But like, I mean, you guys know, you have thoughts, right? But like, your thoughts are not always true, and your thoughts are not your feelings, right? And it's kind of frustrating in this episode that Peter's thoughts are being used against him because I can't remember the character's name, damn it. But he wants Olivia to understand the burden that he lives with, right? So he tells her what Peter's thinking, or what Peter's thinking. And it's frustrating because, one, I completely understand him wanting her to actually understand what it would be like to have that overwhelmingness of knowing what people think. And the truth is, you don't really want to know what people think all the time. And I think that he's trying to get through to Olivia that their burdens aren't the same, right? And I think that that's a fair and valid thing that he's trying to get her to understand. She is projecting a little bit onto him because she's trying to be like, yes, we went through shit. Like, yes, it was bad, but we can overcome, and we can trust people and let them in and be happy and joyful and stuff like that, right? And so her projecting of that because she wants to be unburdened in the ways that other Olivia is unburdened because she feels like Peter likes that unburdenedness, right? So so she's projecting that, right? And she's not really understanding that their gifts, their burdens, their effects, their long-term effects of the Cortexiphan trials are very different. And his are a lot more severe than hers in that, I'm not comparing trauma, but I'm just saying that he literally cannot exist with other people without being in immense physical pain and always hearing what people are thinking, right? Like, Olivia, of course, has her own set of traumas and difficulty dealing with people because of the Cortexiphan trials, her childhood, other traumas, but it's not the same. And I understand that he's trying to get her to understand like how shitty his situation is. But I think that, and again, it's hard for him to see clearly or to understand the nuance of it and everything. He's just like, yeah, I don't want to hear what people think all the time. Like, it fucking sucks, which it would. But the frustrating thing to me is that in this episode, like, what he wrote to her wasn't the things that Peter thought. I just thought it was like pages of Peter's thoughts, right? Which would have been bad enough, I think. But he wrote, he still has feelings for her, right? Which I will get into that later. But again, there is a certain unreliability to people's thoughts. He doesn't know Peter. It's frustrating that thoughts are being portrayed as absolute, as like true things, when there's many reasons why the thoughts that people have, the thoughts that race through our minds, are not true. Intrusive thoughts are a thing. Like I said, insecurity makes you think a certain way. Anxiety makes you think a certain way. I also have ADHD. Like, you know, like there's just lots of things that can make you think a different way and can affect the way that your brain perceives information and processes it. And it's frustrating to me to not have that be acknowledged in this episode by the, I understand that, like, hopefully if you're watching the episode, you understand that, and you're probably frustrated too. But the thing is, Olivia is in a very vulnerable position right now, especially when it comes to Peter, especially because of Olivia and Peter's relationship, and the way that Olivia, feels about Peter, and the insecurities that she has going into a relationship with Peter already, aside from what happened with Olivia and Peter. And then this guy is just adding on to that by telling her the one thing that she doesn't want to hear. And it's so frustrating. Like, I want to, like, I just want to shake that guy and be like, look what you're fucking doing, bitch. And then we also have the question of, does Peter have feelings for Olivia? And the thing is, even if he does, like, he's human. Like, he thought that he was in a relationship with Olivia, right? Our Olivia. Like, it would be so confusing in your brain and in your heart to try to reconcile the fact that you were with the person that you thought you had wanted to be with for the past 2 years of your life, that you were falling in love with for the past 2 years, and you finally got a chance to be with that person, and you were happy. And then it's not that person, but it looks just like that person, and now that person's back, and you're hurt, and they're hurt, and, like, the mind fuck of it all. Like, Peter's emotions, his thoughts, his feelings about everything must be completely, like, fucked up and intertwined, because he didn't know, and now he knows that it wasn't our Olivia, but that doesn't change the thoughts and the feelings that he had when he was with Olivia, thinking it was our Olivia. Like, it's just... And I understand that Olivia understands that. I know that Olivia is conflicted because this is hard for her. She has a lot of different emotions going on in regards to it, and, like, her feelings are about the whole situation are murky because, again, her insecurities, her fears are being triggered by everything that happened. And, you know, Olivia doesn't let people in. She doesn't trust people. She doesn't give them her heart very easily. And she did that for Peter. And then, even though it's not fair, a part of her is going to feel betrayed, right? And it's going to make her put her walls back up. And it's going to be really hard for her to let him in again. And then this is just further compounding the issue. And then add on to that the fact that, and I said it at the time, Peter saying, like, she smiled easier and things like that, like, that seems to Olivia, again, because she has the insecurity, she has the fear, like a condemnation of her. Like, oh, you like her better because she was, you know, freer and happier and X, Y, and Z, or, you know, and I knew that was going to come back, and it was going to, like, add on to Olivia's insecurities. And it's just, it's frustrating because you can see it from Peter's point of view. Like, he thought it was you, and he's like, oh, I made you happier. I made you freer. And it's just, it's frustrating. It's frustrating because of the nature of it, right? And it's 0% Peter's fault. He's as much a victim in this as Olivia is. And it's just, it's frustrating. I'm so frustrated by it. To go off of this, we have Sam, who I love. I will talk about in a second. The revelation about Sam. But him saying that who Peter ends up with affects whether the device is for creation or destruction. My assumption is that, well, it determines whose world survives, right? But the device can be used for creation or destruction. My interpretation, our Olivia is all that is good and noble in this world, right? Like, she's a good person, right? We've established that. She's good. She's creation. Other Olivia, Olivia, not such a good person at times, you know, like, let's just be honest. There was lines that she was willing to cross that, you know, a good person probably wouldn't be. And so she's destruction, right? Just my interpretation of it, right? The thing is, I don't have as big of a problem with the idea that who Peter ends up with is what's going to happen, right? Because if he now goes into a relationship with Olivia, which I don't agree with because I love our Olivia and she is perfect and there's no reason that he should ever feel differently. My issues that I had with their relationship previously was the lack of consent, right? If he goes into this relationship eyes wide open, knows who she is, all that stuff, I will disagree with him greatly because our Olivia is a million times better. But I will have none of those issues because he's going to be going into that with eyes wide open, knowing for sure that she's not our Olivia. My issue, again, then would be like harsh judgment upon him because our Olivia is, again, a million times better than Olivia. But yeah, hopefully that cleared that up. It did not at all. Anyway, I don't like the idea of Peter and Olivia because the beginning of their relationship, you know, the consent was quite murky. And I don't love the idea of like continuing that, even, you know, with eyes wide open and stuff. Also, you know, I have been shipping our Olivia and Peter since like season 1, episode 1 probably. So that is my endgame couple for this show. And I am a huge shipper. I mean, I literally shipped it from season 1, episode 1. So like, duh. But yeah, I just need Peter and Olivia to end up together. I think that the show, I hope that the show will do that, like, because I think that they would be really cute together and they would just, like, I would love it. I hate that Olivia is going through this and that, here's the thing. Obviously, in our everyday lives, we don't know what other people are going through. We know what we're going through. And then other people, like, if you're very close to people, you know, like, what they're going through and stuff. But this guy does not know the plethora of shit that Olivia has already gone through in her life. And he's just adding on to that with this. And again, I understand and I don't blame him because he's trying to get through to her that his gift is much more of a curse. And I agree with him. That being said, like, you're adding on to a pile of shit that she's already dealing with. And like, that very much frustrates me. I also really loved Nina Sharp in this episode. It's always fun to see Nina and see what she's doing, what she's up to, and to see her and William Bell's relationship displayed is really nice. Like, I wish that we could have gotten a little bit more of that when William Bell was still around, but the tragedy of their love story is kind of cute, and maybe it's wrong, but a part of me kind of ships Nina and Walter. All right, and the last thing that I want to say is Sam. I knew that there was something about Sam, okay? I knew it. But what the fuck is with Sam, okay? Like, he wrote the First People book. How? Okay. I don't understand. I'm not meant to understand. This is just like a little, hey, you know, moment. But, I have so much to think about now in regards to Sam. And like, he helped Olivia. I think he's on our Olivia's side. Holy shit, you guys, like, who is he? Where is he from? How old is he? Who is he? Who is he really? Also kind of love the idea of like, an ancient being just having a bowling alley and like hanging out there, like, you know, like it's kind of perfect. Bowling is fun and it's so random. You would not think to look there, but it's just like, if I wasn't already so confused about the First People and like who the hell they were and what they wanted and like this machine and Olivia and Peter and everybody's part and everything, like, how does he know how does he know anything that he knows? Is Nina going to share this information with Olivia, Peter, Walter, anyone? Broyles? Astrid? Like, you guys, I think my brain is short-circuiting. It's buffering, right? I'm going to have to think about this more, for sure. Maybe I'll talk about it more in the next episode. Because I have to think. I have to sit with this. I need to try to process what is going on. Anyway, while I process, I will let you guys go. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you want, you can like, comment, and subscribe if you aren't already. You can also watch the next episode right now over on Patreon if you're watching this on YouTube, as well as my entire full-length reaction to this episode and every single episode thus far of Fringe. I hope to see you guys next week for episode 13, but until then, bye guys!